As we are counting down to 2023, a number of people have had wins and losses here and there. One person that is for sure, especially on social media, has had a number of wins is Mwizukanji, and she's joining me right now. Mwizukanji, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I mean, let's just jump straight into it. You've had quite a successful year, even though you are saying that not very...
not very successful.
But that's not how it seems on social media. I mean, you've won a number of awards here and there, from Portiers, our very own Diamond TV Award, Zikomo Awards, and you were just telling me that you also won, apparently, a TikTok award.
So I hear.
So in your own words, how would you describe 2022 for Mwizukanji?
Okay, I think in one word, it has been awesome. And I think I'm really grateful. Most of the times if I talk about how grateful I am, obviously I'll talk about what God is doing in my life. But if somebody is going to say 2022 has been successful on social media, of course it has been successful, because we only put out, people want to put the best parts of their lives, the highlights of what's happening in their lives out there on social media. On social media, it has been very successful, but background, I think I haven't achieved some of the things I set for myself for 2022. So it's something that I'm just sitting and looking at, obviously doing better 2023.
I like the fact that you said about doing better, but we'll get into that. But I also want to ask, especially since you spoke about social media. I mean, social media comes with its own challenges. We have a lot of people that just decide to be mean for no apparent reasons. How do you go about handling all that negativity that comes with social media?
Once you decide to be on social media, okay, it still comes back to what you put out there. So if I'm going to put out a picture of myself, maybe with a boob outside, obviously I would expect people to give their opinions. I would expect people to talk about what they are seeing. So the moment you put yourself out there, you're supposed to expect anything. That's why I always laugh if I see somebody say, you start up Facebook fights, you're there just exchanging words with people. It's not supposed to be like that. Allow people to express themselves. Let people do what they feel. Let people say what they feel, they want to bring out. So as somebody who is on social media, for me, I have trained myself to understand, to say, if you're not careful, social media can break you or it can build you. It has broken me before. And the only option I have now is for social media to build me. It has no choice. It just has to build me. So for me, that's something that I'm looking at. And also, I've seen that there's a lot of bullying that goes on here and there. Of course, people are trying to express themselves. In the process of trying to express themselves, some of them will hurt other people's feelings. But I shouldn't be in a position where I say, no, you can't tell me this. You can't tell me this. It has to start with yourself. Work on yourself. If somebody is going to tell you I've got a big head, also, it's not news to me. I know I've got a big head and I love it. So it will not hurt me. So it's about working on yourself first. If somebody brings up something, it shouldn't even shock you. It shouldn't bring you down, because it's something you need to know who you are. You need to know what you're made of. You need to know who this person is. You don't know what people are going through out there. People are bitter. People are broken. People are going through stuff. Sometimes they want to bring another person down so that they'll also feel as miserable as they're feeling. I said, can't do that to me. And that's the more reason why you hear Mwizukanji this, somebody will want to post Mwizukanji. Sometimes I get tired when I wake up and just see my picture. I'm just scrolling. I ended up following some South African pages, some Botswanan pages, so that I can my newsfeed I cannot see Mwizu somewhere. Yeah. So it is what it is, but here we are.
Here we are, most definitely. But also, one thing I definitely love about you is your spirit as a mother. I love the fact that you love your children so much, and you're proud of that as well. And for me, I just want to ask the question. For you, yes, you've accepted what social media is about. You've accepted that it comes with some negative energy here and there. But when you post your children, how do you make sure that you protect them from that negativity? Do you also just ignore it the way you ignore when people are commenting about you?
So I choose what I share. It's not everything that I put out there. Sometimes children are trying to be children. I remember a few days ago when my kids were graduating, so I posted a picture, my child was baking the whole day, and then somebody comes up, your child looks very dainty, you don't dress them. I'm like, dude, that child is wearing stuff worth 1,000+, and then you're going to talk about a child being dainty. So I wasn't bothered. And looking at the person, I took 5 minutes of my time. I was just checking their profile. I was like, oh my God. this is not somebody that can correct me or somebody that can give their opinion. Then I just brushed it off. But when it comes to somebody who is going to cross their limits, I will also take necessary steps. If it's my children, nah. I can even smack someone, but anyway, that's it. So I also just try to see what I can put out there and what I cannot put out there.
Most definitely, you have to choose what you put out there. But then also, you've managed to build such a big brand on social media, and you were saying earlier on that social media can either break you
or build you.
Most definitely. Yeah. But for you, you've managed to make it build you in a sense, and you've made such a huge brand. So for me, I want to know as well, building the Mwizukanji brand. We know, everyone knows when you say Mwizukanji, we all know Mwizukanji is a hustler, Mwizukanji is a mother, Mwizukanji is a hardworking as well. How was it trying to build that brand?
It wasn't easy. I remember that I think the first award I got, I saw it on quite a number of those Zambian bulletin. There was these, there are these pages that will just want to bring out, headlines so that people, when they come, they'll just bully you, they'll make fun of you. And I remember waking up this day and I saw a post. They put my picture there and then they said, the most ugliest woman in Zambia. Oh my
goodness.
I'm actually the ugliest.
Are you serious?
I just looked at it. I was like, okay, that's their opinion. Yeah. So it hasn't been easy. If I'm going to tell you that most of the times I just wake up and laugh about things, I wasn't like this the whole time. Because most of the times I would be broken. I was suicidal at some point.
You've explained this as well in some of your posts and interviews.
I was suicidal at some point, and I think one of the things that contributed to that was mainly because of what was going on social media. Okay, people were talking, people were giving their own schools of thought, and I was like, okay. But now I love life. I love life. So the only thing I do now, if I just see somebody talk about Mwizu, somebody being negative about Mwizu, I just laugh about it. Just like, okay, this is okay. Yeah.
I like the fact that you've briefly touched on how suicidal you were at some point, and you managed to come out of that. Thank you so much for coming out of that, because people need to experience Mwizukanji. Such a vibe, by the way. And I just want to know as well, what can you tell a person that's in that situation at the moment? Because, mental health is something that, yes, right now, Zambia is coming to talk about it. Zambia is now understanding that mental health is real. What advice can you give to somebody that is watching right now and they're in that state where they're suicidal? What advice can you give them?
Firstly, you need to understand that life is precious. Okay? You're not the giver of the life that you have. That's something so precious that you hold. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling like giving up, firstly, you don't need to give up on yourself. Always be prayerful. When I say be prayerful, sometimes people say, I can't even have the energy to just pray. But I always encourage people to pray. Sometimes you cannot really open up to another person. I can't come to you and say, okay, this is what I'm going through. I just had, a fight with my husband, He told me A, B, C, D. I can't just come out to you like that. But if I get on my knees and pray about it, I'll feel a bit lighter. But away from that, because not everyone can manage to pray, they always say, find somebody that you can talk to. We haven't really embraced, counseling sessions. We don't have a place where you can just go and just pour out your heart, just cry. Please, if there's such a place. I know of one place. I don't want to advertise that place, but I know of a place.
You see?
I know of a place.
That's a brand.
I know
she doesn't do free advertising.
I know of a place. Now, if I feel down, if I feel like I just rush there, there are people that are going through different situations. Open up, talk to somebody. Somebody who understands, not somebody who is going to make fun of you. Okay? So it becomes easy when you have someone that you are talking to. I've seen a lot of people that have reached out to me, that have told me what they're going through. Maybe after a chat, they'll say, okay, I feel so much better. Sometimes you never know. A situation that you're going through, there's somebody who is actually going through something worse than what you're handling. And, there they are, they're just surviving, they're just, pulling through. But then you just want to give up because John said they don't love you anymore. Meanwhile, there's somebody who doesn't even know where the next meal is going to come from. So sometimes if you open up and talk to people, it becomes easy. Depression, there's no just one way of handling depression or not, working around it. But I think they're just small steps that people can take. And once they take those steps, I think it makes the situation easier.
Also, Mwizukanji, before we let you go, I mean, we are counting down to 2023. I want to know. I'm so excited. 2022 has been such a long year.
I just want it to end, man.
You and I both. But we are just hours into it. In fact, just a few hours and we'll be crossing over to 2023. But I want to know, what's the most important lesson you've learned this year?
I'm a living testimony. Okay? I walk and people see the goodness of God in me. I walk and people see somebody who has been through a lot of things, but they've survived. I'm not saying what I went through is the worst of its kind, because I've actually seen people that have gone through worse situations than what I have survived. So for me, I see myself and I see a miracle. I see myself, I see God's grace. I see God working in me.
And what are our 2023 New Year resolutions? What do we want to accomplish in 2023? The one thing that you just not 2023, I just have to.
Me, I love money. And trust me, my resolutions, my targets have always been constant. It's the money I'm going after. So if there's money, that's where I want to be. If it's giving me money, that's what I want to do. So for me, 2023, please give me the money, please. They say speak life, I'm speaking money. That's mine.
I'm definitely tapping into that grace. In 2023, we are speaking money. We are claiming the money in 2023. But thank you so much, Mwizukanji, as well, for just opening up. I love the fact that you spoke about being suicidal and you opened up very openly about that and you spoke about it, because I believe the number of people as well that are just hiding behind closed doors for that as well. And in the near future, I mean, we've seen as well, before I let you go, this question just came to mind. Before I let you go, in the near future, with you being in such a situation where you are kind of suicidal and you came out of it, do you ever plan of maybe coming up with maybe an institute where you might help others, or you just want to be an advocate for it as well?
I have made myself available to talk, obviously not a full-time thing, but I have made myself available to just give myself, talk to people, help somebody. Trust me, most of the times when you come to my office, sometimes it's like, there's a politician in some office. There are a lot of women. Some women don't even come to me to say they want money. That I will lie to you. But some will just say, I just came because I wanted to talk to you. Okay? And then you have that conversation, you talk. And that's the more reason why I always say, I love hugs. I've had situations where I'll just hug someone and they'll cry, they'll pour out their emotions, they'll talk about things, and trust me, they feel lighter, they feel better after that. So I'm the person that is ready to give a hug to somebody. I might not really give the money or have the time to have an institution, but that's something that I'm working with quite a number of people. Of course, I've also withheld the name of the institution, but I'm also doing a few works on myself to just see that what we are planning also comes to pass, and I just put in the best in what I want to do. But that's something that we're definitely working on. Okay, so before I let you go, just look into the camera and just tell them what 2023, what people should be claiming. I mean, we've already said money, but what else should we be looking forward to in 2023? I just want to speak to somebody right now who is watching, who is waiting to count down to 2023. I cannot tell you words that you have not heard. I cannot give you the motivation because I'm not a motivation speaker anyway, but I just want to encourage you to pray. Involve God in everything. God has a tendency of just showing miracles, showing up when you least expect him to. So whatever you do at whatever time, they say pray without ceasing, pray anytime, pray every time. So even as you are setting your goals, put God at the center of it all. Let God take charge. Follow him behind. Allow him to show his greatness. That's the only word I have. All right, thank you, Mwizukanji, so much for that. We continue with the rest of the show.